Hi everyone, I'm really glad to be with you today. Sorry. So today is the first live event to launch the new community of practice that is intended at the INEE members. So welcome for all of you, and I hope this short presentation will be useful to you, and I'm happy to take your questions at the end. So today I would like to introduce the new community of practice and walk you through the platform into a recorded videos to allow you to just have a sense of how it works. And we will have few members who will be just giving us their own perspective on how to use and how they use this platform in the pilot phase. And then I'm happy to take your questions. So INEE decided to have this community of practice since few months now, and it is a way for INEE to give a voice to all its members. So the idea is to encourage networking, interactions, and collaboration among all the members of INEE and have a two-way conversations among all of us. So the platform that we selected is a platform where we can have conversation in text. This is the most affordable way to interact between all of us. We can share documents, we can have calls, we can use also surveys and polls. And we organized the platform into thematic channels to allow to organize conversations and specific topics, and later also allow you to create new channels for your own, the themes and topics of your own interest. We also support the 5 languages of INEE, and you will see that you will be able to use this platform for one-on-one or peer interactions. Like, it will be something that will replace, for example, WhatsApp for professional use in education and emergencies context. So what we decided to use is Slack. So maybe a few of you are familiar with Slack. Slack is a communication platform that is much used in the corporate world because it's channel-based, so it's easy to organize topics. And it's a real-time messaging, so you will be able to speak to each other and interact in real time, in text, and also having calls, as I've said before. The most interesting idea about it is that it's a platform where you will only be with other practitioners from INEE. So you will have less distraction than, for example, Facebook or LinkedIn, where you have so many things on your thread, and you will get distracted. Here you will be only working on your work with education emergencies. And the platform is also affordable and usable on most smartphones. So we think it will be inclusive to all our members, even if they are living in places with limited connectivity. And also we have all the services that are available by the usual WhatsApp. So we hope it will be user-friendly and you will get used to it and familiarize with it very quickly. And I'm happy to help you. I'm here for that. So the last thing that I think it's very important for us and should be for you, it's about your privacy. We care about your privacy. So you will access the platform using your email address, and this email address will not be shared with others. So if you don't want to share your email address or your phone number, it's not required and it's not visible on the platform. So it's up to you to share it whenever you want. So for our own community of practice, so it is on Slack, but what is more specific for us is that we organize the conversations you will see later in the walkthrough that we will have channels to organize the conversations, and we have what we call, or what Slack calls, the direct message, where you can speak to each other in groups up to 8 people. And the channels have no limit of the number of members. So this is where the conversations happen. You will be able to edit and delete your posts if you are not happy with something, if you want to edit it. It's always possible. We can organize conversations in threads. We can use emojis for quick reaction instead of typing things. The possibilities of search are really large. You can just search the whole workspace to find a specific bit of information that you are not sure where you saw before. You can organize your notifications to be aware of what is happening, or keep it silent so that you don't get distracted. So it's also something that you can adjust in your preferences. You can share files and resources, and you can make calls to your colleagues and the people you know. As I've said, the Community of Practice is organized in channels. So we have 3 types of channels. There are channels where all the members are members. Let's say they join immediately, automatically, these 2 channels. This is the welcome channel and the intro channel, where I encourage you all to introduce them yourselves in whatever language you prefer. So these are channels that are visible to all the members. There are also the linguistic channels that are connected to the INEE 5 languages. So we have in each language a general channel and a help channel where I can help you if you have any specific or technical questions about the use of the platform. And people are added to these channels by myself. So I add people when they apply. They inform about the languages that they speak, and then I add them to these linguistic channels. But then later you can also join other channels if you decide to join more channels. The thematic channels are more connected to topics. We picked these channels from topics that INEE works on. And we have moderators for each. And these moderators are, for the moment, part of the INEE Secretariat, and they are part of our team. But in the future, volunteer moderators are also welcome, and we can work on this to grow the number of channels and see what needs arise from your own conversation and your own collaboration. And we are happy to support you in adding more channels to the platform. So let's see how we can join this Community of Practice. Joining is very simple. It's only filling a short form. The purpose is for me to collect your email address that you want to use and to collect also the languages that you speak. So it's very simple. And once you fill in this form, let me show you how this will work. So the idea here is that once you apply, you will receive an invitation to join the community, and you only need to click on this Join Now button in your email, of course. And so then you will go to this page where you need to add in your full name, and I insist to invite you to add your full name so that we know you, and then add the password. Because this full name will appear in the Community of Practice, and you know that we will have hopefully thousands of members, so we need to know who is who. So your full name is really important for us. And once you fill these 2 information and click on Join, I don't see, it's not joined, sorry. On Create Account, it will be done. And if you've never used Slack before, it will open in your browser. But if you have Slack for other workspaces, you will be invited to open Slack in the app, because Slack avails a browser-based interface or an app on your desktop or the mobile phone. Okay. Thank you, Peter. I know that we have a code of conduct that we developed for this platform, and I invite you all to have a look at, to read it very carefully and to abide to it. It's very important for us that this space is open to all of us, and it's inclusive and welcoming, and people are able to express themselves. the purpose of the community of practice is to allow everyone to express themselves. So we need to make sure that the respect and the inclusion is everywhere in all the channels and in all the conversations. So as for now, I would like to invite few people to share their own experiences with this community of practice. We launched the community in a pilot phase in mid-April, and we had a few hundreds of participants with us. And one of them is our friend from Yemen, Beirut. I don't know if she joined. Are you able to see her, Peter?
No, she was on for a minute or two, and I tried to promote her, but she's now not listed, so I don't see her on.
Okay. So yeah, you know, the connectivity in Yemen is not very stable, so eventually she was just disconnected. So maybe we can benefit from Rachel, our great moderator, for a channel that is really special. This is the anti-racism and decoloniality. So please, Rachel, can you share with us your experience and your expectation from the community of practice?
Sure, thank you so much, Ola, and thank you for putting together this webinar. I think it can be a bit daunting if this is a new app for some of you and you haven't used it before, but I promise when you see Ola's videos and walk through, it will be quite straightforward. And I think the first thing I wanted to say, just kind of generally about using Slack, is don't be hesitant, don't be afraid that you have to use it in an exact way. You'll be absolutely perfect in your posting and things like that. You'll get used to it as you start to interact. So as Ola said, we have had like a few channels just to pilot the space with a limited number of participants, and one of those channels is the one on anti-racism and decoloniality. So quite a heavy topic for a channel, and I've done some posting as a moderator. I think my challenge as a moderator is not to be taking up too much space, but trying to encourage that discussion to happen. And I can also acknowledge that this topic in particular might be one that's a bit more difficult to just chime in and start a discussion. So we've tried a few different questions to get people talking. I've also started sharing a few resources, but I think as more members come, people will start to interact a bit more. But yeah, these channels are your spaces, and although INEE is hosting this community of practice, we want this community to develop between you and amongst you. And my experience of using Slack over the past year on the Secretariat is that you can develop really strong working relationships with people over Slack. I haven't met any of my colleagues in person because we work remotely, and we use Slack as our main forum for our communications. And it can be as simple as, reacting to a post with an emoji. I know that I like using emojis quite a lot, and I like to see people, even if they don't have time to write a comment, I quite like to see people reacting with an emoji so that I know that they've seen, read, agreed. Sometimes people put this like questioning face, so they might have a question about it. So yeah, it's really kind of conducive to communication, obviously. But yeah, I would just encourage people who are already part of the channel or part of the COP, or if you're just about to join, don't hesitate to start posting. It's great to introduce yourself, maybe say a bit about your role, where you're from, and in particular with the anti-racism decoloniality channel, if you scroll up, there are a few reflection questions that I posted at the beginning that you'd be welcome to respond to. But then also, really sharing resources. I think we can get caught in an echo chamber, especially around these topics. So it's a perfect space to be sharing resources that have been useful to you, helpful to you. And then the other thing is that I think the COP is an opportunity for you to promote your own work as well. We often hear, from different actors in the sector that they don't know how to contact to reach maybe other actors in the sector, and this is a place to bring you all together around common themes and around your work in education and emergencies. So it's kind of, as much as you put in, you will get out from this space, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you and having the opportunity to interact with more of our members through the community of practice. So I'll stop there, and I think maybe Andrew is going to talk specifically about the jobs channel. So.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rachel. So I just shared my screen of Slack. This is a test user that I'm using. So I just joined the channel while Rachel is speaking. So it's very simple to join channels. And now, while inviting Andrew to come in, I will show you how I can add that channel that is related to jobs that our dear Andrew is moderating. So yeah, I can browse the channels that exist, and then since I'm doing very quickly, I don't see it. So sorry. Did you see the job channel? Yeah, here it is. So it's simply that you can, yeah, you join it. You click on the button, or you have a look at it, and then you decide to join it. And here's the channel that Andrew is moderating. And yeah, please, Andrew, can you come in and tell us more about this channel?
Sure. I don't know if anyone else, but I think your screen might be frozen. Maybe it's just for me, but so my channel is the jobs channel, and you see that purple area on the left. So if you just scroll up, you'll have a list of all the channels you can access, and you can join them and leave them as you please. But so the main objective of my channel is to share not only opportunities at INEE and with its partners, but for, like Rachel said, this is a space for members to share opportunities with their organizations, to ask about or inquire about opportunities, or you know, also to share professional development opportunities, things like that. So for example, a colleague the other day asked me if I was aware of any opportunities in Uganda, Kenya, or Ethiopia, and I wasn't, but I pointed him to our jobs channel in the community of practice and encouraged him to inquire to see if any of our colleagues had any opportunities in mind. But I'll be sharing jobs from INEE's newsletter that goes out weekly, as well as opportunities that come into my inbox from a number of email lists I'm a part of. So those will be there regularly, but I encourage you to share opportunities with your organization and organizations that you work with. So we look forward to engaging with you in the space, and please, yeah, like Rachel said, please feel comfortable to engage as you like, and there's no right way to do so.
Thank you. So I think I was sharing the wrong one, I think. I'm not sure. So this is where the space where I can show you how to add channels. And yeah, I already joined the 2 channels, but we can join as many channels as we want. And then if we decide that it's not of interest for us, we can leave them. If we want to limit the information that we're receiving from the community of practice. So these are the channels, and this is the direct message where you can write to people. So I can write to myself, for example. This is a test one, so I can tell myself hi. And then if I'm not happy, I can remove it or edit it in a simple way. And it's always possible. It's not that it's only in a limited time after you write the post. So I'm sorry for these technical glitches. And I don't know if Beirut managed to join, because yes, she was telling me that she has a weak connectivity. Is there any questions? I'll stop sharing and maybe have some questions if Beirut is not with us. Okay. Rachel, can you tell me if there are any specific questions I can?
I don't see any questions in the chat at the moment, just a few people sharing their experience already. that Chol said that Slack was invaluable when organising the INEE country meetup. So that's a really practical use of the COP. Paula saying she's looking forward to joining. I have a question, if it's okay for me to ask one. I was just wondering if people would like or feel the need to start a new channel, a new space, what they would do, if they can reach out to you, Ola, if they have a thematic area in mind, and how that's going to work kind of going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So if there's a need or a will to create a channel, specific channel, they can reach out to me. Yeah, I'm visible in the platform as an admin, and we can discuss this. The main need for us is to identify a moderator who would take the responsibility to take care of the channel, and also expect to have enough number of participants. We will not create a channel for 2 persons. So if it is for a very small group of people, they can communicate on their own. They can create a small group. They don't need to create it as a channel, up to 8 people. But yeah, if we want to create a channel that is public, we need to make sure that there's a general interest into this channel. But in principle, everything is feasible. So this is something that we can, once it's decided and agreed on, it's done in few minutes. So no problem about that. Any other questions? Otherwise, I can maybe run a poll. I prepared a poll for us.
A couple of questions in the, well, yes. One question that's been answered. Peter shared the sign up link. Thanks, Peter. And then a question about how often should I be checking back? That's quite a good one.
How often should we
be checking Slack? Yeah,
it depends on the activity. So as for now, the activity is not very heavy. So maybe once a day or a couple of times per week would be enough. But it depends. It's like on Facebook. If the group is very active, so you will have so many contributions and posts per day. And if not, it will be very quiet. So it depends on the activity, and it depends also on what you are working on. So for example, I was showing, but finally I was not showing the right window. One doctoral student who is sharing her a questionnaire. So maybe this lady will have a conversation, and she will be continuing to do this free time. So it depends really on the use that you want to make from the COP and how it will evolve. Yeah, it's something we can. I hope it will be very active, and people would like to limit it instead of.
And I think, using those notifications, as in you can turn notifications on and off, and you can kind of manage how loud it is. So you can choose how much you want to interact as well. There's a question here from Susan saying when she tried to join during the trial, Slack asked for her credit card details. Is that normal?
Never, of course. No. Joining our community of practice, there's no question about credit card. That's all free for sure. Can anyone share the link for the Mentimeter, because I'm not able to write in the chat myself? Peter, maybe I'll share it with you. Anyone? I'm not able to write in my chat. I have an issue.
I can drop it in a minute. The question from Debashri asking, what's the long-term vision behind using the community of practice on Slack?
So the long-term vision is that this will be a platform that all INEE members will be able to join and to interact, have peer-to-peer conversations, and bottom up and top down conversations. So this is a two-way communication place. And the idea is that INEE wants to go beyond just the one-way communication that is very strong at the moment with the newsletters, the emails, and all that. We want to hear from people, and we want them to hear from each other and learn from the experiences of each other. And we are happy to support that. So the idea is that the community of practice will grow with the members and by the members. So yeah, we hope that this will grow very quickly and continue to be a helpful tool for all the practitioners. Yeah, I'm starting to see some participation, not much. Anyone?
You may just want to mention, I did post in the chat now the link for your poll. So I'm not sure everyone has seen that.
Can you just participate? It's a quick one.
I see a question about the level of work involved with moderating a channel and if it can be shared by a couple of people. And I think that's a really interesting question and one that.
So sharing the moderation by more than one person?
Yeah, and how much work is involved in being a moderator?
It depends on the channel and the activity. So yes, we are considering to have more than one moderator for the linguistic channels because we expect that they will have more activity than the other channels. Yeah, we are open to work in teams. So if you want to form a moderating team, it's always possible. The most important thing is to keep an eye on the channel, see that all the posts are conform with the code of conduct, and also help with replying to some questions or orienting people to different places if there's a need, or maybe help finding resources. At the moment, I don't think it's much work. We expect also to have some engagement activities. So creating activities to invite people to contribute. For example, we can create polls, I can help in that, or ask questions and crowdsource an answer, or collect some opinions, collect some regional and local experiences and resources. So these are engagement activities that we would love to see in the channels. And so we need a moderator just to start engaging, but we hope also that in the future the members will be able to do this by themselves and feel free to ask their own questions and launch their own polls. It's possible.
Another question in the chat. Do you have to be a member of INEE to join the COP?
Yes, absolutely. So the idea is that the COP is a service for the INEE members, but it's also very easy to become an INEE member. It only requires that you fill in you register on the website, on INEE website. I think Peter will provide this for you now in the chat. So it's very easy to join INEE. You need to fill in the application on the website. And once you are a member, you can also apply for the COP. Any other questions? Sorry, I'm not able to see the chat for myself. So maybe I can share now. We don't have, we have 10 participants in the Mentimeter. I will share it maybe with you to see it. I don't think you see it. Do you see it?
We can, yeah, we can.
Okay, great. So we have 10 participants, and we can see that almost all the aspects are of interest to many people. So mainly to network, to share experiences, and to collect information are all of interest. So less interest in receiving or sharing resources from INEE, and I can understand why, because there are other channels for that. I think people are receiving enough information from INEE with the newsletters. So they don't, I don't think, we need to join the COP for that, because INEE will continue its communication through the newsletters and the social media. But we hope that with time, people will move to the COP and make use of the COP to collect all the information and the resources they need from INEE. Okay, is there any question? Other questions? So I think if there are no other questions, I think we can stop here so that we don't keep people for too long. I'm sorry for all these technical glitches. I promise that Slack works very well, and I'm very responsive there. So don't hesitate to ask any questions. You have the help channels in the 5 languages where you can ask your technical questions, and I'll manage to translate and bring you the right answer very quickly. So thank you for joining us, and I hope I will see you all in the community of practice.